faithful, a bright and splucious. Hey, a bright and splucious, terrific Tuesday morning to each and every one of you tuned into Good Morning Grenada. Always a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for tuning in the GBN family to start your morning off and start it off right. Good morning to the folks joining us on the GBN Grenada Broadcasting Network's Facebook page, the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel, the website www.gbn.gd, GBN TV channel 7, 11, and 20, and good morning to the listeners of Classic 105.5, 105.9, Hot 98.5, 98.7. To the folks joining us across the Caribbean, as spicy seasons greetings to each and every one of you. And those of you joining us internationally, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Hope you will have a good day, are having a good day, have had a good day. Let's no sticking this morning. It's time for this morning's Word of the Day. This morning's Word of the Day is swivet. Swivet. S-W-I-V-E-T. Swivet. It's a noun which means a state of nervous excitement, haste, or anxiety. Swivet. Swivet, which nervous excitement, haste, or anxiety, usually occurs in the phrase in a swivet or in a such swivet. Swivet is an American colloquialism of unknown origin, first appearing in 1890 in the Vermont Journal. Word of the day this morning, swivet, S-W-I-V-E-T, a noun which means a state of nervous excitement, haste, or anxiety. Examples of the use of the word. On the night of their 10th anniversary, he'd been in such a swivet about what to give her that he locked himself in his bedroom trying to choose the right gift. Another example of the use of the word, I try not to get into a swivet over my occasionally faulty memory. Yes. I experience that sometimes. Word of the day, swivet, S-W-I-V-E-T, a noun which means a state of nervous excitement, haste, or anxiety. When you're nervous about things, you're experiencing a swivet. This morning's thought of the day, Christmas is the spirit of giving without a thought of getting. Christmas is the spirit of giving without a thought of getting. The reason for the season, the man above, Christmas is all about giving and sharing the Spirit, spreading His word, and ensuring that we celebrate Him. It's not about receiving gifts, as small as it may be, to the largest gift that you're expecting or hoping to get. It's not about that. It's about giving. It's having a heart of giving, a heart of sharing. Christmas is the spirit of giving without a thought of getting. All right, we're going to skip what's celebrated today and get right into the news. Of course, Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell delivered a national address last night and highlighted restrictions and protocols going forward for the next 2 weeks in the first instance as we continue to put measures in place to stem the spread of COVID-19 following the spike we have been experiencing over the last 7 to 9 days. Right, so let's see, as part of the protocols that we need to observe, curfew took effect from last night, 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. daily, for 2 weeks again in the first instance. And the other measures include village shops, including those licensed to sell liquor, must limit to 3 the maximum number of people served on the premises at any given time. So only 3 people at a time, limiting the number of people in your establishments. The mask wearing continues. Let me rephrase. The proper mask wearing continues, covering your nose and your mouth at all time in public spaces. Wearing it just over your mouth or under your chin, that's not wearing the mask. Proper, the operative word here is proper. Proper, P-R-O-P-E-R. Proper wearing of the mask. Social distancing. Number of guests at weddings and funerals continue to be limited to 10 unless permission is sought and obtained. Not because you applied mean you get in through. Make sure you get the go-ahead from the ministry if that's what you so desire. Social gatherings at entertainment venues and beaches are expressly prohibited. No fetes for the Christmas or the New Year's. As well as families are advised to create household bubble, limiting their Christmas Day activities to individual households while opting to share virtually with other extended family members and friends. In short, stay home, set up a Zoom, your family one way, you the next way, all is celebrating together but virtually. That's the short of the story. So keep those measures in mind as we traverse the next 2 weeks in the first instance with the measures that have been put in place. Curfew, no more than 3 people in your establishments, no social gatherings, or let me rephrase, no fetes on the people beaches and in entertainment venues, household bubble for Christmas Day and I guess New Year's Day as well, 10 people in weddings and funerals. The rules and regulations in place for churches that have been in place since earlier this year, I believe they still remain in place. There are no limitations as to how many people can attend. The social distancing requirements, having the sick bay, hand sanitizing, and so they continue. The regulations that have been released yesterday do not speak about limiting church attendance. So keep that in mind. And of course, mask wearing, social distancing, wash your hands. We are in tough times, tough days, Christmas with a difference, but we got to do what we got to do to stay COVID-19 free, COVID-19 smart. That's the only way we're going to get this under control. COVID-19 walks when we walk. Keep that in mind. COVID-19, I must copy right now. COVID-19 walks when we walk. So that's the only way it spreads. So keep that in mind and limit your social gatherings, especially as we get further into the festive season. All right, let's get ready for the morning edition of news and repeat of last evening's newscast. This is Good Morning Grenada on this terrific, sploocious Tuesday. We'll be right back.
This newscast, you should be home. People here can rest assured that a 24-hour lockdown will not be implemented, but should brace for a curfew as of 8 p.m. tonight. This was one of the notices issued to the public ahead of Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell's national address. According to a statement issued by the Government Information Service, the curfew has become necessary as part of intensified efforts to contain the recently detected cluster of COVID-19 cases. The full scope of government's heightened measures to safeguard the population will be broadcast live via GBN television, classic radio, and social media platforms Facebook and YouTube. A curfew was implemented in March and lifted in July. The Royal Grenada Police Force has denied reports that there are cases of COVID-19 among the rank and file of the organization. It said in a statement today that a corporal of police has tested positive on a rapid test and is awaiting the results of a PCR test, which is the gold standard for testing of the virus. It has also clarified that an officer attached to the St. Paul's police station, who had previous contact with a confirmed positive case, was tested and his test returned negative. The RGPF has promised that if and when there is a positive case within the force, they will inform the public accordingly. Over the past few weeks, several police officers were either tested or asked to quarantine because of known contact with suspected or positive cases. The law agency said that as an organization, it understands that its members are in a high-risk category. However, it has stressed that to date, they have had no positive case. A clinical psychologist and community counselor says the COVID-19 pandemic has caused significant emotional, physical, and economic problems worldwide. To cope with this, she is encouraging people to identify their stressors and seek mental help and reach out to families and loved ones. Shauna Cuffey spoke with GBN's Cherian Blackman-Stephen today.
As Grenadians prepare for heightened measures to be announced by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell Monday night, following the recent COVID-19 spike in cases, clinical psychologist and community counselor currently attached to the Ministry of Education, Shauna Thomas Cuffey, is encouraging Grenadians to take what's about to confront us in strides. In an exclusive interview with GBN on Monday, Thomas Coffey spoke about the importance of keeping the family connected to reduce feelings of isolation and loneliness, particularly during these Christmas holidays in the mix of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Everybody's talking about what measures they think would be put in place. While that may be so, find out who needs something done. Christmas is coming and the 25th of December will not change, regardless of what's happening, right? So somebody may still want, if they cannot afford a whole ham and you know they're not supposed to eat it, by the way, you say, watch, I can give you a little piece. Let's be neighborly. One thing we can beat COVID with is information, preparation, proper hygiene and sanitization, and loving good relationships.
She spoke of the need for people to seek mental health help when needed.
You have to make sure that you have someone or you can access mental health help. We know that social development, education, and different small NGOs have been offering many help. Human services organizations across the island have been offering help. All right, so you have to access some mental health help. Check in with someone, see where you are. If you find there are certain parts of your body dancing, involuntarily, sleepless nights, disturbance in your nutritional habit, disturbance in your thought process, you know that you need to get checked. Because you know what? This here is a tall order. And we cannot expect anybody to react normally, okay?
The family as a unit has to work together to protect each other.
The families must sit together and have talks about how do we stay safe, how do we cope. Secondly, we want to ensure that proper hygiene measures are being followed. One of the things I've noticed is when things quell and they die down, people go back to terrible habits. You have to stay vigilant. Not hyper-vigilant, which leads to anxiety, but you want to stay vigilant. So you want to ensure that when you're washing hands, it's for 20 seconds or more, and you have to ensure that all family members are doing it. Because remember, people are coming in and going out. People are traversing their homes.
A couple breaths might be in order to ease the anxiety for some as the Prime Minister delivers his address. Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Grenada's tourism industry suffers another blow. The government has announced a suspension of air traffic between Grenada and the UK. That's because of an outbreak of the new strain of the virus in the United Kingdom. Let's get details on this one from Beverly Telesford.
As the world grapples with the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, one twist has been added to the mix as the United Kingdom announced the discovery of a new strain of the coronavirus. The new variant is said to be up to 70% more transmissible, but there is no evidence that it is more deadly. There is also no proof to suggest that it reacts differently to vaccines. However, fear of the unknown with this new strain prompted several countries such as Canada, India, and European states to immediately halt travel to the UK. Grenada has now joined that growing list of countries taking preventative measures. In a news release issued after midnight Sunday, the Ministry of Civil Aviation informed the nation that the government of Grenada has taken the decision to suspend all air traffic between Grenada and the United Kingdom, effective Sunday 20th December 2020 until further notice. Anyone who has been in the United Kingdom in the previous 14 days will not be permitted entry into Grenada. This decision, taken in line with many other countries, is to prevent as best as possible the introduction into Grenada of the new strain of the coronavirus recently discovered in parts of the United Kingdom. Scientists have advised that this new strain of COVID-19 possesses a new health risk. Government apologized to all affected stakeholders and travelers, but said this is a developing situation, and as such, decisions have had to be made quickly and in the best interest of Grenada. Government said it will continue to closely monitor the developments related to COVID-19 in the UK and make further adjustments to Grenada's entry protocols accordingly. For GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
Now, the blame game started following the discovery of the COVID-19 cluster at Sandals Resort. After being silent to the local media, the resort issued a statement pointing fingers at the government of Grenada, while the government stands its ground. GBN's Trelana Charles took a look at both sides of the story.
The Sandals Resort, which has been silent since the discovery of new COVID-19 cases, released a statement on Thursday. In the press release issued by General Manager Peter Fraser, certain claims were made which have plunged the public into more confusion regarding details which may have led to the outbreak. In the Ministry of Health's press conference on Sunday, Minister of Health Nicholas Steele said the Ministry of Health was proactive in the random testing done at the resort.
We do random testing as we did this week of guests and frontline workers of those hotels, as we have done with all of our other facilities, all of our frontline, including our health personnel that are involved in the swabbing of individuals. They're all tested on a random regular basis, or at any point where they feel they may have had an incident where they were possibly exposed.
In a recent Beyond the Headlines, host Odette Campbell probed further for more details on the issue and received a slightly different response.
You said that Sandals called in the ministry. Why was it necessary for Sandals to ask the ministry to come in?
No, Sandals said that they wanted to do a larger sample of tests. And so they communicated to us to say that they would like to instigate a larger sampling of testing, and that's what we facilitated with them this week.
Minister.
In the hotel statement, General Manager Fraser wrote, and I quote, "As many may not know, as part of our stringent protocols, it was, in fact, the proactivity of our team on the ground at Sandals Grenada who initiated the random testing, which we subsequently funded. That allowed the ministry to run further testing. I had personally been the one requesting that random testing take place for over a month prior to this situation. I can voice with great confidence that there was no breach in our protocols. Instead, it demonstrated them in action and how they work to safeguard our team members and guests. Our team champions this cause and diligently maintains our protocols at all times." Via the statement released, the resort is insistent that it maintained all COVID-19 protocols issued by the Ministry of Health and that there is no guarantee that the spread of the virus is as a result of any fault of the hotel itself. Trelana Charles, GBN News.
The Sandals and government of Grenada fallout will be put under the microscope on GBN's Beyond the Headlines tonight. It will feature former tourism director William Joseph and journalist Lincoln Toro Depredine. They will analyze recent developments, including tonight's address by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell. Religious leaders and churchgoers prepare for Christmas mass celebrations with stringent COVID-19 measures. Trelana Charles takes us to church.
Christmas traditions can vary widely, but one tradition shared by many Grenadians is the attending of Christmas Mass at their respective churches as the year comes to an end. Since March, COVID-19 has brought restrictions to gatherings, and churches across the island have had to adjust the way their services are held. Parish priest of the St. Patrick's Catholic Church, Father Michael Opoku, said his church has adjusted to all COVID-19 protocols to ensure the safety of their attendants and will continue to do so throughout the Christmas season.
Yeah, we still encourage people to come to celebrate the Christmas. We have to stick to the protocol, wearing your mask and sanitizing your hand, and when receiving communion, make sure that you keep 3 feet distant away from the other. So it's good for them to come, but you observe all the safety precautions, all the safety measures.
But adjusting was not as easy for other churches. Pastor Dave King of the River Sally Pentecostal Church says since March, his church has taken another approach to supporting the government's protocols by streaming church services online.
We personally believe with the pandemic, it is not just a government problem. We believe it's a church problem, the nation's problem, government, and all of us need to come together. So we gave government full support in that regard. But as for me as a local church, church, based on the size of the building and the membership, we consider it wasn't possible for us to be able to gather at the church building to have services. So we were doing that via Zoom.
Both men agreed that after the year 2020 has been, it is the perfect time for Grenadians to step back from the commercialized aspects of Christmas and take some time to remember what the season really represents.
As we come to the end of the year, I believe it is important for all of us to come together and to realize what we are faced with. It is not one group of people coming and trying to fight it by themselves. I believe that all of us must get on board. Government, churches, NGOs, citizens, and to be able to stand as to how we go over to 2021.
Yes, Christmas is a season of love and a season of sharing. And the more you share, the more you have. And so also it's a time to give thanks to God for the gift of life, the gift of health. And we also thank God for his continuous blessing and his continuous favor upon our lives.
As changes continue to be made to restrictions on the island, it is unsure how the usual attendance of church services will be affected as we approach Christmas. Regardless, both Father Michael and Pastor King urge Grenadians to be safe, follow protocols, and use the time to reflect. Trelona Charles, GBN News.
Telesford visited Motley Hill, where Carrie Beswick lost her life.
Moments away from her home, Carrie Beswick lost her life after being struck by a moving vehicle along this area in Motley Hill in St. George. According to reports, Beswick, who was in her early 40s, was walking along this road with a 13-year-old son when a vehicle which narrowly missed her son struck her. Reports reached GBN on Friday night about a runaway vehicle slamming into a 41-year-old mother. Social media was quickly plastered with photographs of the deceased, an employee at a local resort at the south of the island. Now, just about 1 month ago, calls were made by a road cleaning crew to have speed bumps reinstalled along the hill. The concern was raised after it was noticed that the hill, which once contained speed bumps, no longer did. Recently, Motley Hill had been frequently used as an alternative route, while the Marastil Road had been blocked off for reconstruction in September. On Sunday night, a candlelight vigil was held by family, friends, co-workers, and community members at the site of the accident in remembrance of Miss Beswick. Because he lives, all fears are. A neighbor who didn't wish to speak on record nor be identified described the deceased as a very good woman and an overall genuine person. The scene of the accident no longer contains collision marks from the traffic department, but a wreath and candle wax remains of the candles in reverence of Miss Beswick. A GoFundMe page has also been set up by the brother of Miss Beswick, seeking help to cover her funeral expenses. Carrie has left behind 2 children, her daughter who is 19, and a son who was with her at the time of the accident. An official report from the Royal Grenada Police Force informed that Kenrick Thompson of Tubby St. George was charged for the offense of causing death by dangerous driving, which resulted in the death of Beswick. Thompson was granted bail in the amount of $50,000 with one surety. As part of his bail conditions, he is to surrender all his travel documents. He is not allowed to leave the country without permission from the state and report to the Central Police Station every Monday and Friday between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. He is scheduled to reappear in court on June 11th, 2021. For GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
Moving on to news from Parliament, where we find that Labour Senator Andre Lewis has taken a swipe at the government for not placing enough emphasis on agriculture. He thinks the government is not taking a futuristic approach. Despite the claims that allocation is not the issue, Senator Lewis highlighted the importance of agriculture to the local economy in this pandemic and beyond.
The need for sustainable employment, resilience to external shocks, and preventing social issues should be the focus going forward. So said Labour Senator Andre Lewis, who added that only through agriculture and its linked sectors can this be a reality. To arrive at this reality, Senator Lewis noted that a reverse in the stigma and culture attached to agriculture, whereby parents with an agricultural background no longer sneer at a similar career for their children, has to occur.
But we have recognized today the error in this. They meant well. So what we have to bring is technology. We have to bring technology and make it interesting so that apps can be created.
The Labour Senator impressed that such ideals can only become reality if guided by proper leadership.
I'm absolutely confident that given the youth that we have, if we go on the ground, if the leaders go on the ground and speak about agriculture or whatever it is we believe in, people will get involved. People will get involved. The amount of community services that took place during the revolution, what is different is the leadership. The leadership was that you could have felt the commitment of the leaders. And they led from the front. I said, boy, today with all the technology that we have, how life would have been today with the quality of leadership or the mindset of the revolutionary leaders. And I come down. And if you recognize, we can't run away from speaking about it, because even when this Prime Minister said the founding fathers in relation to MNIB, the revolution.
He said agriculture has the capacity to create more sustainable jobs via its intersectorial linkages, which must be promoted.
Because in this discussion, and yes to construction, yes to all the other aspects, because none is independent of each other. And there's no country that will survive on agriculture alone. There's no country that will survive on tourism alone.
Senator Lewis said no matter the current unemployment rate, women are greater affected, therefore work within agriculture and linked sectors such as agro-processing will be more viable than construction.
So apart from addressing unemployment in its general sense, we also need to drill down and say, okay, what are we doing for women? Especially where quite a large percentage of our household is led by single parents, by women.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Still on the same topic, Roland Bola, who has returned as senator for another term, has thrown the book further as it relates to issues around agriculture. Senators have been clamoring for serious investment in agriculture. Bola, who is a former agriculture minister, said the real problems hindering agricultural development is beyond increasing the allocation for the sector. Gerard Joseph has been dissecting the issues coming out of the 2021 budget debate.
The question of is it enough may continuously be raised despite the defense by government for the allocation for agriculture. The latest question being posed is whether it is a case of allocation or a situation where we as a people, nation and sector are not maximizing agriculture's total potential. Citing the perspectives such as the backyard gardening project as a prime example, Senator Roland Bola said the issues within agriculture are deeper than it may seem. The former Minister for Agriculture said the process for that project had already started, which would target 500 farmers and ensure food security via grant funding. However, the purchase, he says, of 500 tanks for said families is being impeded by one individual.
The monies are available, and because of one particular individual within the ministry having to sign off, that process have not yet been completed, simply because the gentleman in question doesn't feel that there's a need for 500 tons.
Bola also put the Senator for Agriculture to task to find out the reasons why financial institutions give farmers such a hard time.
When you mention about the lack of funding and the financial institutions are very reluctant to do business with our farmers, it is a fact. But you know what is also a fact? Not very long ago, a study was done as it relates to the compliance rate of farmers paying back, remembering where they borrow from. And our foreparents, most of us who grew up with grandparents, always heard the word, when you borrow, you must pay. That is not something much of the farmers in Grenada have learned. 80% non-compliance rate among the farming community. And we need to find out why. Is it because they are not making money? Or is it because we are not business-minded enough to do better?
He questioned whether implementation is the main issue or malicious and ignorant individuals within the Ministry of Agriculture.
Money from that. And I went in one day and inquired, where do I have to go and pay? He went into the ministry. And whoever he spoke to then asked him, were you called by anyone? And the farmer said, no, I wasn't. Did they tell you that you have to come and pay? He said, no, but I took a loan and I signed that I would pay so much. The officer then said to him, well, we ain't know nothing about that here. There ain't no money to repay.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
And now we turn our attention to what has been creating a buzz on social media. Trelana Charles has been looking around the platforms.
This is Social Buzz, where we shine a light on the thoughts and concerns of our online audience.
Monday morning, the Office of the Prime Minister issued a statement to the nation which said to expect the announcement of a curfew tonight during the Prime Minister's address scheduled for 8 p.m. The statement said the curfew is expected to go into effect at 8 p.m. Monday night and has become necessary as part of intensified efforts to contain the recently detected cluster of COVID-19 cases which experienced a further spike Sunday with the confirmation of additional positive cases. Our online audience was quick to make their thoughts known. Simeon commented, good move. Vero said, stupid. After the horse get away, we ready to close the door. Victoria said, now all you spoil Grenadians' Christmas and we have to pay the price. Sylvan commented, is curfew or it should be the policies you put in place. Curfew cannot stop the COVID from coming in. It only takes away from the local businessman. Gail asked, so only at night COVID gets away? There are more people out in the day than nighttime. Kenneth added, now they're trying to destroy the very monster that they created. And Sandra commented, partial curfew from 8 p.m. tonight until when? 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., until when? January 2021? What are the new protocols for the safety of staff at pure accommodation facilities and the general public they will interact with during normal living?
A renewed focus and investment in handling sargassum seaweed is expected in 2021. Minister for Implementation Nolan Cox, in his contribution to the budget debate, says equipment is being supplied to tackle the sargassum affecting areas in St. Andrew.
Excavator tractor, a boat, special boat, trawl nets for collecting the sargassum, beach cleaner, machinery for harvesting the sargassum on the sea surface, and dump truck. So this is a significant project to treat with the sargassum, and my colleague in the Ministry of the Environment must take some credit for the work that they are doing to secure this support, Mr. Deputy President.
Revenue generation through the sale of processed sargassum seaweed to New Zealand is also an opportunity being targeted by government.
New Zealand has a high demand for sargassum seaweed. And so we plan to work with the coastal community to see how through the CRFM institution to see how we can get this project off so that Grenada can start exporting sargassum seaweed, processed sargassum seaweed to the New Zealand as a revenue generation and also eliminating a problem that we have here.
He explains that it's part of a project done in conjunction with the Japan International Corporation, which will provide ice-making machines and other equipment for 8 fish markets within the state of Grenada.
As you celebrate the life of your loved ones, Just Cool Photos offers live streaming, virtual interactions, and video recording packages for all funeral services. Contact us through your funeral directors or call 473-409-1981 to choose your package.
Voyager Main Store is your favorite home goods store, and Voyager 2 stocks all your Christmas items. Both are located on Granby Street, St. George, on the upper and lower floors. Beautify your home this season with curtains from Voyager 2. Get 5 pieces for $75 or 4 pieces for $100. We also have a wide range of Christmas lights and Christmas trees with and without decorations. Voyager and Voyager 2. Check them out in downtown St. George's today.
Whenever we're faced with difficulties, we find comfort in those we know and trust. This is especially true when a loved one has died.
Welcome to Otway Bailey Funeral Home.
For over 100 years, Otway Bailey Funeral Home has helped families celebrate the lives of their loved ones with compassion and dignity. Our affordability, attention to detail, warm and caring staff has contributed us being the funeral home of choice for official and state funerals. We treat you as we would treat our own family. All of our services are designed to help you get through one of the most personal and challenging stages of life, whether it's planning a funeral, joining our burial society, or pre-arrangements. You can be assured of the Otway Bailey commitment to consistently provide the most caring and professional service possible with the best options and price. So call us 440-2558 or visit our website, otwaybaileyfuneralhome.org.
At Otway Bailey, we offer the perfect tribute any family can afford.
As you celebrate the life of your loved ones, Just Cool Photos offers live streaming, virtual interactions, and video recording packages for all funeral services. Contact us through your funeral directors or call 473-409-1981 to choose your package.
Get the Christmas feeling at Dean's Mattress today and all through the holiday season. Dean's is bringing you absolute great Christmas cheer. Your reward, supportive, a comfortable feel when you get a mattress from Dean's this Christmas season. Special offers on beds, foam, divans, and mattresses. Call Dean's today about your needs for odd size mattresses, baby crib mattresses, and mattresses for yachts. And of course, all the smart shoppers who placed your items on layaway, get them today. A special offer from Dean's. Free delivery island-wide and to the boat for the Carriacou and Pity Martinique customers. Call Dean's now, 440-3240 or 440-0552. Dean's Mattress, where quality is never compromised. Merry Christmas from Dean's Mattress.
Do you want to win loads of prizes this Christmas with BIP? Join our Spin to Win promotion to win exciting prizes daily. Here's how. Go to the Discover section of the BIP app. Search for the Spin to Win channel and click follow. Once you have followed the channel, click the Spin Now button, choose your device type, select your country, and wait for the wheel to start spinning. Be quick. When your wheel lands on the correct prize of the day, screenshot the prize and send your screenshot to the Spin to Win chat to enter the promotion. Click the Daily Updates button to get updates on the prize you are required to spin for each day, and also to know if you are the lucky winner of the day.
A Merry Christmas, spin and win with BIP.
Total is one of the world's largest oil companies with a top quality line of lubricants. Total Lubricants has a full product line from passenger cars, motorcycle, heavy industrial equipment, mining, trucking, agriculture, and manufacturing machines and vehicles. Total Lubricants, winning championships in motorsports, including Formula One and World Rally Championships. Total Lubricants are available at all Rubis service stations, leading automotive shops, and distributed by Huggins.
Grenada's chief medical officer has ordered that all confirmed positive COVID-19 individuals, their contacts, and members of their household must remain in quarantine or isolation for 14 days. Anyone who fails to comply with this order will be in breach of the Public Health COVID-19 Regulations 2020 and is guilty of an offense. Upon summary conviction, that person will be liable to a penalty of up to $10,000. A message from the Ministry of Health.
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number one. News at 7, live, Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11. K105.5 and 105.9, Hot 98.5 and 98.7, GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel, and www.gbn.gd. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere.
Welcome back to Good Morning Grenada. Thank you so much, those of you who stuck with us. Thank you for your patience. Those of you just joining us, happy to have you. It's 20 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock. This morning, once again, we're going to bring up Talk the Things from Thursday, and it's Talk the Things Tuesday. I'm sure most of you can guess what the topic is this morning. The Prime Minister's National Address. That's right. We're going to Talk the Things Thursday this morning. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell delivered a national address yesterday. And in that address, which was approximately 16 minutes, he highlighted the terms, conditions, protocols, restrictions that would be in place for the state of Grenada for the next 14 days in the first instance. Let's see. Where's my list? There we go. The restrictions put in place. In the meantime, you can gather your thoughts, those of you who looked at the address, to share what you thought about the restrictions in place. Number one, curfew in place effective last night from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. daily. Number two, takeout and delivery only for restaurants, no in-house eating. Village shops, only 3 people can be allowed onto your premises at any given time. The proper wearing of masks continues. Recommended physical distancing should continue to be observed. Number of guests at wedding and funerals limited to 10 unless permission is sought and obtained from the Ministry of Health. Other protocols include social gatherings at entertainment venues and beaches are expressly prohibited. No social gatherings at entertainment venues and beaches. And one of the final restrictions, families are advised to create a household bubble limiting Christmas activities to individual households, and you can invite other members virtually. So Zoom it up, WhatsApp video it up, just don't go in each other's homes. That's the short of the story. So those are the protocols highlighted by the Prime Minister in the address last night. What did you think of them? I think one of the outstanding phrases that he used last night, he is not the Grinch that stole Christmas. Good morning, Mr. Prime Minister. That line, I think, is what I'm going to remember completely going forward. The Prime Minister stated, and I quote, "I am not the Grinch that stole Christmas," unquote. It was a good one. Let's go talk to things Tuesday. Landline 435-2041. WhatsApp is also 435-2041. Please only written messages on the WhatsApp. No voice or video calls, no voice notes, no pictures, YouTube links, no other videos, only written messages on WhatsApp. Take your time and type out what you thought of the Prime Minister's address last night, specifically the protocols and restrictions put in place for the next 2 weeks in the first instance. You can also talk the things on Facebook. It's GBN, Grenada Broadcasting Networks. That's the Facebook page. And the YouTube channel, Grenada Broadcasting Network. Those are the platforms that we will be using today for Talk the Things Tuesday. I almost said Thursday. Talk the Things Tuesday. Let's go. Let me see. Let me start landline ringing. No. YouTube. Somebody on YouTube says, yes, the almighty curfew will protect us from the nocturnal COVID-19. Good morning, caller.
Person, good morning to you.
Good morning. How you do?
Oh, not too bad, thank you.
All right, go ahead.
I am in 100% agreement with all that has been said. I want the police, I repeat, I want the police to keep going in the places outside the town and check on certain persons who consistently disobey rules that are set up. All sorts of things. I'm not going to go into any details, but I hope the police they're listening and they are not calling any areas, but check the areas outside the town, and they're going to catch some of these violators red-handed and deal with them very severely. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. Talk the Things Tuesday. What did you think of specifically the restrictions highlighted by the Prime Minister effective yesterday for the next 14 days in the first instance? Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Miss Blossom.
Morning, Mr. Bido. How you do?
Well, kind of rainy and hazy and overcast. But anyway, let we go this morning.
There we go.
Yeah. The best thing I like, of the law he put, of the beaches, of the prohibited. Because what really happen, it does have some people going and cook, make a don't drink rum, and it could cause accidents. When they don't, they go in the water and they bathe, and then while they're bathing, you could hear one dead or one drunk. But before I leave you, thanks again for playing a nice song for me last week.
No problem.
And play it tomorrow again if you got another how is it?
Request Wednesday?
That's right, yeah, Request Wednesday.
I will try my best.
Well, yeah, but wait, let I tell you this song you played. That's the best song you ever played.
Tell me.
For me, right? Well, you choose the best, and that's what I like. I'll tell you. He said that the only gift he gets for Christmas is Jesus with his wife and his 3 children. So you can write it down, so not forget.
What's the name of it? The only gift?
Well, the gift you get for Christmas is Jesus.
And that's from Charlie as well?
Yeah. From,
okay.
Yeah, from Charlie Pride. And the gift you get for Christmas is Jesus, and with his wife and his 3 children.
Okay.
So write it down, not forget. And
I wrote it down.
Yeah, and if you forget, I'll call him back tomorrow again.
No problem.
All right. So
have a good day, Mr. Bido.
All right. God bless you.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bido. It's overcast on the Sister Isles as well, so I guess the entire state is under some rain overnight into today. Let's go talk to things Tuesday. The Prime Minister's address last night. What did you think of the protocols, restrictions that he highlighted? Let me go by the WhatsApp. WhatsApp says... Okay, sorry. Yes, WhatsApp says, we Grenadians, our heads too hard. We don't take the right, only the wrong. I'm not blaming the Prime Minister or Mr. Steele for anything. If we comply, we wouldn't get this treatment. So I agree with the lockdown, and the Prime Minister should put the curfew from 7 instead. Ooh, 7 is a little too close. Don't do me that thing. Somebody else on WhatsApp says... My niece was allowed to go home yesterday. She was grateful for that. She spent the evening do an exam via Skype. Okay. My niece was allowed to go home yesterday. She was grateful for the opportunity that she spent the evening doing an exam via Skype for her bachelor's in nursing. She went home from quarantine. Okay. Somebody else on, hold on, phone lines? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Somebody else on WhatsApp says, Peter pay for Paul, what a pity, cry face emoji. Let me see. No comments on Facebook or YouTube, so back to the WhatsApp. Somebody else on WhatsApp says the address gave a few restrictions, but that will not curb the spread. Stores jam-packed, still buses transporting people with conductors, drivers and passengers masked under their chin. He needs to come up with a plan as to how to stop or curb the spread. We did great, but not the horse. But now the horse opened the stables. So it's going crazy. In addition, vending areas in town is like Juve morning. They want to earn $1, but the risk there is greatest. I would beg to differ a little bit. That he needs to come up with a plan on how to stop a curb. Those are plans to stop a curb, but it's for us to adhere to it. So because the bus drivers and conductors and passengers, some are not obeying the regulations, that doesn't mean there aren't measures in place for that. They're just not the ones obeying. Good morning, caller.
Yes, I really didn't hear about the Prime Minister Monday night, but what I'm very concerned, I want it present, especially for the buses, the bus driver, the conductors, especially for the St. David's bus to Grenville. They are the worst. I have an ID to pick up in St. David's, and I'm scared to go and pick it up because they're not wearing masks, and when you talk, they want to cuss. I think they should be charging the bus drivers. They are the ones they should be charging the bus drivers so that people could wear a mask. The Mardi Gras bus, the drivers, if you don't have your mask, they don't pick you up, and which is very good. St. David's one for Grenville, it's really, really, really bad. So I wish the Prime Minister should concern more on the bus drivers. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. I guess the police need to police the routes a little bit more. And congrats. Good going to the drivers that are adhering to the rules, as the caller highlighted Mardi Gras. Bless up all your whole self on sticking to the point. For a lot of passengers, caller, you're not the only one that I've heard say they're afraid to go on the buses because people are not wearing their mask. You observe the protocols, insist that the conductor or whomever is responsible sanitizes your hand. Keep wearing your masks, even if you're the lone duck in a bus full of chickens. I just came up with that. Even if you're the lone duck in a bus full of chickens, wear your mask and observe the protocols. In the speech last night, the Prime Minister implored on bus drivers and conductors to insist that passengers do what they need to, wear their mask and hand sanitize, and feel free to not pick them up if they're not observing the protocols. But some of these drivers and conductors are the same ones not observing the protocols. Sometimes a little dollar could cloud our judgment, unfortunately. I understand money had to make, but money had to be made responsibly. So if the drivers refuse to pick up the customers if they're not wearing their masks, they would think twice next time. If the customers refuse to go onto the buses and the drivers and conductors are not adhering to the protocols, they would think better next time. It goes hand in hand. One can't survive without the other. So if everybody do what they need to, or take away your service if the protocols are not being adhered to, then we might see better compliance or greater compliance. Let's go to the WhatsApper that spoke about your niece doing the nursing exam. Somebody on the YouTube is sending congratulations to her on studying to be a nurse. Let me see Facebook. Let me go back by WhatsApp. The phone is ringing. Hold on. 3, 2. Okay. Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller. Buenos dias. Bonjour. All right. Back on the WhatsApp, somebody on WhatsApp says, yes. Why the restrictions are only at night? Does COVID only roam the streets at night? That's a comment I've seen on social media. And I saw someone post a comment on Facebook which was akin to how I was thinking. Not like it or not, but most of the time, 9 times out of 10, when we are out in public during the day, we are running errands that we need to or at work. And these are the places that would be following the protocols to a T because, daytime workplaces, businesses operate and ensure that they can continue to operate. At night is when socializing takes place. When the sun goes down, that's when we get loose like goose. And we want to fet and we running down in the road in the shop. Is the shop are going? We're not wearing our mask because it's nighttime outside dark. Or somebody might want to have a little fet in the community center. That takes place at night. So if we limit movements in the nighttime, then the opportunity for socializing is limited or goes away completely. In the daytime, we're not really socializing and fetting. We're working hard and running errands, buying gifts and groceries, and so on and so forth. Nighttime is when socializing takes place, and that is what we do not want, the socializing. So it's not that COVID only roams at night. That's why we have restrictions in the daytime as well, protocols to follow in the daytime as well. Good morning, caller.
Morning, Blossom.
Morning, Tanti. How you do?
Hanging in. How are you?
I'm good.
Everything is everything?
Everything is everything.
Everything is not everything yet here in Grenada because we are living in fear right now. The last 2 months, we were so happy going that we know we only have something, they said 12, 20, 25 of this coronavirus in Grenada. But now we have going up. Written in this, if we meet on the 40, 60, we're going to go down with this virus. We need to stop living in fear and turn to God in prayer. The person who is in charge of our country, which is our government, he have to take more interest in the people of Grenada and notice what he bringing in and what is going out from the country. Because right now, when people come from abroad, we don't know where they come from and what they have in them. So we have to just be on the alert, always looking out for the people that are coming in and those who are going to know we walk in with our feet and we're afraid to put it down because we're afraid to match the virus. We live in fear. We have to turn to God, and He's the only cure for this virus right now. The only one who will help and save us all from this coronavirus is Jesus Christ our Lord. Just turn to Him and pray and ask Him to save us all, the remainder of us in the world, from the virus. Jesus Christ is coming back for His world. It's not the people of the world, it's God's world. And if we do things that He don't like, these things people must understand. He have ears to hear and He eyes to see. He know what we going through. He know what we facing right now. The virus is a dangerous weapon. Look how many millions of people die, lost their life from this virus. American people now, they're taking a vaccine. They know if they will be alive still or dead. We have to live without fear. We have to learn to trust in God and have faith in God and ask Him to help and save us all, the remainder of us in the world, from the coronavirus. Just turn to Him and pray. Look at the Lord God is only with the cure and the truth and the life. Without Jesus, we are lost.
Okay.
Last time, let me tell you one thing. Last time I want my gift.
Yes, they will call you. I followed up yesterday and they will call you.
I know they call in, but I'm not getting the call, and sometimes when they call,
they will call you. Don't worry, they will call you.
Christmas is Friday, and so I have to wish you all your greetings. I hope to talk to you soon again.
Thank you.
You are blessed, darling.
You too.
And let us stop living in fear and live for God.
All right.
God bless you.
Prime Minister's address last night, protocols highlighted as we go forward for the next 2 weeks. What do you think of them? Facebook, not Facebook, YouTube. YouTube says if the Prime Minister is not the Grinch that stole Christmas, then it is Michael Steele the Grinch. Then is Michael Steele the Grinch? Wait, what? I ain't sure I follow that one. Somebody else on YouTube says, be careful for there could be more issues to deal with. What about the youths? All right, let me see. Nobody on Facebook, so let me go back by WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp says, yes, just as expected. No acceptance of responsibility, no apology, just more restrictions. As the Jamaicans will say, the one who fills in a road don't remember it, but the one who clean the filth bound to remember it. But he know that we memory short, so he well right. We still looking for apologies at this point, as Godfrey said yesterday. In case there's an apology that comes, what happens then? It doesn't change anything, so we're still looking for an apology. Okay, all right. Good morning, caller.
Morning, boss.
Morning, how you do?
How are you? Good, you know.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, listen. Okay, how I see this thing, right? No, yes, God have to help us, okay? And we are to turn to Him, you know, in a serious way, right? I am not going against that. But the thing about it is we have to do what we're supposed to do, right? And if we don't do it, then we are going to we are going to head to a total lockdown, and I don't think that's a thing that anybody wants, right? So we have to encourage each other and do what we encourage each other to do what is right, and wear our masks, sanitize, and do what we're supposed to do. This is the only way. I mean, this is one of the ways then that we could avoid a total lockdown. And we must not just be naive and feel, is the Prime Minister and is this because there are certain countries, and you will know that too, that is in total lockdown right about now. So we mustn't be feeling it's only in Grenada and about the Prime Minister. And I'm not shielding anybody, whether it's who or who, it doesn't matter. The thing about it is a worldwide thing, and we have to take the necessary precaution to protect others and protect ourselves, and we must get that straight. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. Agree with you. Let me see. Somebody on YouTube says close the airport. But it's a money-making thing to get money from the World Bank. WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp says, yes, that's the saying. After the horse escape, you want to close the door. Another WhatsApper says, even though I disagree with a lot of things the Prime Minister does, I support the Prime Minister with the curfew, but I wanted him to go than just curfew, and also wanted him to apologize to the victims of the sandals virus spread. Another WhatsApper says they're making it appear as though Sunday additional reports that caused the curfew. This was all in the making from the first national address by the Prime Minister. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah. I firmly believe that we, the poor people, must obey the protocol, the COVID protocols. Because if we realize what is still happening, when we are sick, we still have to pay the doctors. And the doctors are not putting down on the price. And most of us, because we poor, sometimes we don't have the money. And we go in and ask people, when we expose ourselves to the virus, for money lend me that until so time. And they do not understand they are endangering their lives. For example, if we have about 3 persons in our home sick with the COVID, and they have to bring them to doctor, the doctor would charge them, and we do not have the money, or the majority of us, because we're poor, and we are not adhering to the protocols. So we bring in our own penalty on our own selves. It's time that the poor people understand. I would say we, the poor people, understand that they have to obey the rules. The ministers, the Prime Minister, and so on, they can possibly take a jet and go somewhere else, perhaps for attendance. And the people will take them because they have the money to pay. But the poor people cannot understand. And for example, those that we call intelligent cannot understand too. Why? It is because maybe, recently I said on the air that we should educate the people, go around and broadcast what is wrong and what you have to do. And I've seen that happening from yesterday. It passes through maybe St. Paul's, Montparnasse, and so on. And that's good. Educate the people. That's what we have to do. And if people are not hearing, well, I don't see why you have to study them if they put themselves in harm's way. So everything is the government. The government has a right to help. But at the same time, they cannot help you in your health to promote your health. You have to promote your health for yourself. It's time that we black people understand that.
Okay.
In Grenada, black people in Grenada are talking about.
Okay. Thank you. All right, on that note, let's take a quick break and come back and continue the discussion on Talk the Things Tuesday, Prime Minister's address and restrictions in place for the next 2 weeks. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements? Or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 for 18-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Fallage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Looking to put the perfect smile on a child's face? Then you need the perfect gift this holiday. At K&R, we are so much more than just a bookstore. We also carry toys. Yes, trucks, cars, puzzles, bags, and dolls. Barbie included. We cater for children of all ages, even the toddlers. We are on the corner of Young and Scott Street. So visit us today or call 321-3500 or 420-5307. Come visit K&R and feel the magic of the season. Food is fundamental, and at Caribbean Agro Industries Limited, we source premium quality wheat and other ingredients so you get the best results in the kitchen, bakeries, and farms. For over 35 years, we've supplied Grenada with the finest flour and animal feed. The tastiest cakes, pastries, or breads are baked with the region's finest flour. Buy the products you've trusted for all these years. Baker's Pride, Supreme, and Sunshine Flour. Get the best from your farm animals with our Master Mix Feed brands. Support local. Buy products that are made in Grenada. Call us on 440-2954 or visit us at Mount Gay St. George or check our Facebook page. Caribbean Agro Industries Limited, a subsidiary of ADM. Unlocking nature, enriching life.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, easy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
Welcome back to Good Morning Grenada. Talk the Things Tuesday. Restrictions put in place for the next 2 weeks. What did you think about them? Coming from the Prime Minister's address last night. Back to the phone lines. Morning, caller.
Yeah, morning.
Morning.
What I think about it is hard on the people. Now, what happened is the government and the hotels and them, they mess up the settings and cause us to go into a panic mood and have the people in a lockdown area right now where the people didn't do nothing. So what I'm saying is now, the address, yes, you have to follow the protocol now. But if they didn't mess up the settings, we would have to be following no protocol, really. We should have had our Christmas nice and decent. But because of them messing up the settings, because they're supposed to have more strict quarantine and different things set up, and don't make it come in the public and mess up the public people and all kind of different things, they didn't do this thing right. So right now we have to feel the pressure for it now. But we ain't supposed to go through that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. I love the phrase mess up the settings. I love the settings. Sorry, but I love the phrase the settings. Let's see. YouTube. Somebody on YouTube says, for sure, close the airport. Another YouTuber says, what about the Bush Bar? Who are monitoring those bars in the night? At 8 o'clock, they should be closed. You shouldn't have anything about monitoring. Hopefully, police patrol would be able to spot them if they're operating. And hopefully, if villagers know about these non-compliance, they'll call the authorities. I'm always one for, if you see something, say something. If you see people not doing what they should do, and you need to call the cops, call the popo. I'm one for see something, say something. All right, let me go to Facebook. Somebody on Facebook says, yet no acceptance of responsibility for the nonsense they did. No more restrictions on the people who were obeying protocol since March. The people always pay when people in charge do nonsense. Let me read a WhatsApp before I go to the line. Somebody on WhatsApp says, place undercover officers on random buses to ensure compliance. I saw another WhatsApper with that comment. Where are the plainclothes police on the buses to give them tickets? Maybe that's an avenue Mr. Commissioner can think about. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Blossom Sherry George. Season greetings to you, my dear.
Thank you. Many happy returns.
All right. You know, everybody is subject to their opinion, and I personally agree with that. But we didn't do anything. We're still going back again. We were in a place where we were quite comfortable. We thought we didn't hear nothing about no community spread. We were going quite nice until the saga with government and sandals. So I don't know where we getting blame as citizens about this and no apology, no nothing. I mean, I find it is quite heartening to know that we are the one that have to go through this thing now. We could do it better than that. I ain't hear nothing about buses. I ain't hear nothing about nothing else more than, according to Ralph Gonzalez, it looked like the COVID is
Nicodemus.
This man in the night.
Not Nicodemus.
What about some fella in the night? Why is only night? What happened to the day? People don't socialize and do things in the day too. People don't have like a cook all in the back of the house, all below tree, getting boys, people with their rum, they sit down there and they having the thing. So Nicodemus, Ralph Gonzalez said, he didn't specifically say Grenada. 8 to 6 curfew in the night look like the COVID is like Nicodemus in the night he come in. So we not to be blamed in my view. The thing happened when Sanders and the government and whatever they hide from us and they're not telling us. This is where the thing starts. So I don't know how we come in that to be blaming for all this thing. Have a nice day.
Thank you, you too. Thank you very much, caller. Let me see. YouTuber says, COVID-19 is mark of the beast. All the money come from the World Bank. Let's see. Somebody else on YouTube says, this is not true. Stop. What about the 2 doctors? We cannot force apologies. Apologies should be of... YouTube, you're missing parts. Let me go back by the phone lines and then I go to WhatsApp. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, sister. How are you?
Morning, I'm good. How you do?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, what I want to say, you remember case 25?
Mm-hmm.
People have to be very careful with what they do. You realize since case 25, everything started moving up and up? You didn't realize that?
I know.
Yes, okay then. With case 25, remember the big hullabaloo, how they call him names and all kind of thing. Up to now, they have no proof. Because one of the man who died, all his children came down for the funeral. The funeral went on and they were in COVID. They kept them inside. All of these children came down for the funeral and they couldn't be at the funeral. And up to this point in time, they have not proven. All these 75 people they test, none of them have COVID. Even one of the brothers, the man's son, slept in the same room with case 25. In one room together, they quarantined for 4 days. He was negative. And up to now, they cannot prove case 25. So when you're doing wickedness in the world, you have to be careful with what you're doing because it just come back to haunt you big time. Remember, there is a God above. And what I'm observing is that when certain people realize that the power is so, they love power so much, and the time comes for them to go down and they realize they're falling down, they decide to bring down all of us with them. So that is what is happening. That is what is happening with us in Grenada today. He's going down and he's going down with all of us. He's okay. Have a good day.
Sorry, caller, what you meant when you said they can't prove case 25?
Well, they said what they said, but up to now, you remember one person had to pay money to go back. But they had to prove, they say, yes, they're guilty, and they go back. But up to now, case 25, they cannot, up to now, they have not they detected him as a person with COVID. And all the people who sleep and wake with him, none of them didn't have COVID. So that is a false. And no matter what they do and what they say, it was a political thing. It's a green and yellow thing. Mischievousness will take place with case 25. That is why we're paying for what we're paying for today. Have a good day, darling. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
You too. A slightly confused caller because you said they can't prove case 25, but he is 25 because he was positive. So I think that's the proof that he was infected. Unless I misinterpreted what you're saying. But I think they proved it because he is number 25. Is 25. Unless I'm okay. All right, let me go. Let me go by WhatsApp. I haven't done WhatsApp in a while. WhatsApper says, we tend to make every little thing a problem in Grenada. I wonder if some of us who like to criticize and compare our country to others. Look at the Philippines, for instance. The rules are very severe, and now we're hearing of the PM in St. Vincent making joke about our quarantine times, and that country is in no way doing any better than we. So shame on him. And lastly, I would like to hear the media houses actually read out the protocols that most, if not all, the major hotels in the south have to place, and then we will have a better idea. The media does not have to read it out. The information is available to any and everybody. It is on the government's website, gov.gd. I believe it is gov.gd. It is on the government website, all the protocols for everybody. So we do not necessarily have to read it out. You can just log on to the government website and find the information yourself and take your time and read through it as long or as short as you would like. Another WhatsApper says, just as we get sales messages on our phones, could the government not arrange with phone companies to have a constant barrage of protocols as an ongoing reminder? We need to be reminded to put on our mask? I beg to differ. Speaking of I beg to differ, somebody else on WhatsApp says, I beg to differ. In this present scenario, many people could be infected asymptomatic and not know that they are infected. The daytime movement is vast and the situation is growing quickly. To control the virus, movement of people will have to be restricted for a minimum of 14 days. We may know that there have been many people who were wearing masks and sanitizing and still became infected, not knowing how. All right, let me go to possibly our final caller. Morning, caller.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm calling in to support the caller about case 25 to a sense, because case 25 never exhibited no symptoms. He was locked down after the land-based and run him down, but he had asked for his result. He never got the result up to today. He had asked to do independent tests. He would pay for it. They never gave him. After they took him and quarantined him after he left, which I wouldn't support and say he had right to do. But he was locked up and he wasn't seeing no one. He wasn't visited by no one. We was in contact with him every day. No one who we come in contact with had no symptoms and wasn't tested positive, right? The doctor and his wife came after. They tested positive. They talked about him for a day. Case 25 was debated for like 2 weeks or more. You understand? Now Sanders is in fault, or the government is in fault, because they're supposed to have people checking these people before they go to any hotels or whatever, and they have no responsibilities being placed on them, no rundown, no criticism is being done to them. Like, are they over what Case 25 had to go through? My question. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. I can't really comment. I'm not aware of all the behind-the-scenes happenings, as in he asked to do the test and they wouldn't let him, or so on and so forth. So I can't really comment. I hear what you're saying, and that's about it. Let me read one comment from YouTube, and then we're going to wrap. Somebody on YouTube says, it just don't make sense. 8 to 5 is when most Grenadians settle down for the night. During the day is when most people are out. Possibly true, but during the day is when most people observe the protocols with the hand sanitizers and the mask wearing. In the dead of night and in the dark night, I'm not so sure how many of us would wear a mask and if we go somewhere, ensure we get our hands sanitized. That's just Blossom. All right, the discussion can continue into the point this morning because we're going to have an open line specifically about the protocols. We would replay the speech at the beginning of the program and then open the lines for our viewers and listeners to refresh your memories of what was said. But that's coming up at 9 in To The Point this morning. We were preparing for the sitting of Parliament this morning, but yesterday they sent a cancellation notice that there is no Parliament today, so which means we now have to do To The Point, and we're going to open it once again for our viewers and listeners. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Talk the Things Tuesday. Have yourselves a blessed, sploocious day today. Observe the protocols, wear your mask, hand sanitizers, wash your hands. Soap and water always works. It's time to join the BBC for the 8 a.m. newscast. Have yourselves a good one. Okay, that's it. Bye-bye.
These have been tough times, and we could all use a helping hand to get through this period. GUT Credit Union gives you the opportunity to do just that without a worry. What are you looking forward to? A relaxing staycation? Brand new appliances or devices? Consolidate